Hey guys, how's it going? Ben here, and welcome to, well, the reloaded version of the Road to Max Stack series. Now, I was really excited to get on with this because there's no more loot tab now. This is the series, and we're going to be working ourselves all the way to max stack, hopefully over, well, what I'd imagine is going to be a pretty long time. Now, to start with, I came to Bandos with my friend Gurian, who I haven't spoken to for a while. It was pretty good, but we didn't get anything off the first whole trip, which was just absolute bullshit. We were hoping we'd get something off the minions or something at least. After the final kill, and we just got nothing, so it was a little bit shit. But regardless, we decided to stay just a little bit longer after that, just to see if we could get anything at all, and that was when my dry gauze broke, and I was just like, the timing was just so bad. We were back in, like, we'd brought enough resources to last a little bit longer, and my dry gauze broke, so that was a bit of a bad start to it, so I had to spend some money fixing all that shit, and it just pissed me off a little bit, just because it was such a bad start, but it got so much better here. Now, I was getting my kill count up here, when I managed to get myself a Serenic scale. Now, I don't remember if the beam actually showed there, but you can see it says a golden beam came up and I had a Serenic scale, so that was pretty cool. And then I started getting a lot of War Priest. Now, the War Priest I don't need, I just, you know, put in the invention thing now and just get those Zamorak parts, because why not? And I just kept getting them. I think I got a total of 4 War Priest pieces just straight away off that kill count, which was just ridiculous. But anyway, after that, during the Zami stuff, our first drop was the Gloves of Subjugation. Not the best drop, but we were happy to get one because after the Bandos trip we were thinking, oh, this is just going to go downhill so bad. Like, you know, we were a little bit demotivated by it. I certainly was. I was really pissed off with it. But then we went and got ourselves a Godsword Shard 3. I was like, okay, you know what, it's not great, but, you know, at least we're getting the drops. Like, that was the thing that we were pissed off about. We just wanted to know the drops actually existed. So, Gurian got that one, and what happens at the end is he trades me all the stuff and I give him the money equivalent. That's how it works. And then I went and got myself a Godsword Shard 3. I was like, okay, same Godsword Shard, I don't care. Still getting drops. I was just a little bit pissed off that we were getting the Godsword Shards and not the other things like the Robe and Gown of Subj. But other than that, the thing we did really want was the Wines of Zamorak. Now, they were selling for like 8-9k each, which is mad, and we managed to get quite a lot of them. Now here, I got myself the Hood of Subjugation in a next sort of instance that we did. We decided to just add a bit more time and try stay as long as we could, because I hadn't used any food in my pack yak, so like we were doing really well for food and stuff like that. The only thing we ran out of really was like supers and overloads. But yeah, there we go. I believe the final drop I got there was the bloody War Priest, and I was just so pissed off. I was like, come on, we've got so much War Priest stuff from this, why do we need any more? And finally I managed to get myself a D-Long out of nowhere. I was like, what is this going on? Bit of a rare drop. But yeah, this is how much money we managed to make in total. On the right is Gurian's loot, on the left is mine, and I gave him some money to equalise the loot so that we basically halved it, and we made 5.2 mil off Zami without getting the good rare drops. We got the shit ones, which were worth nothing. So Zami is one that I'm definitely going to be going back to. Anyway, after that, I decided to go Bandos again on my own and got 112 Constitution pretty randomly. Wasn't expecting it, so I thought I'd just throw that in there while I was doing this. Anyway, this trip at Bandos went a lot better to start with. Look at that, our third Godsword Shard 3. I was like, come on, what is this? But I ended up getting some Bandos boots not too long later, and I was quite happy to see those, because even though they're not the greatest and they're certainly not worth as much as they used to be, I was just happy to sort of get drops so you guys can see some drops coming in. Anyway, that was the first instance of it done, and we didn't really get much after that. It was just the boots and that was it. And I was hoping to get something off a minion, but nothing came from it. So that went down, and I decided to leave because, like, I couldn't stay any longer myself on my own. But I decided to go back, as you're going to see in just one second. Now, that's the loot, and I forgot to actually put in the Bandos boots, so it wasn't accurate. But in total, off that trip, we made around about 2.1 mil, which was cool. I was like, whoa, you know what, that's a lot better than that last one when there was 2 of us and we killed twice as many. So I decided to go back to Bandos, because I figured our luck couldn't just be out there. And pretty early on, we got ourselves a Bandos hill. I was like, oh, okay, we've got ourselves a hill, that'll do. It's not worth a lot, you know, it's not the chest plate of the tassets, but it'll do. Anyway, after that came our 4th fucking Godsword Shard 3. Like, I was just like, why is it always the same one? It couldn't have given us a 1 or a 2, it just had to keep being the 3. I was just a bit like, you know, what is the point? But yeah, I was getting a little bit angry as well, just like, because I'd been there for so long wanting, like, you know, the chest plate and stuff. And then the gloves come in, which is also not a very good drop. And I was a bit like, well, why aren't we getting the good drops? Now, when I've been to Bandos in the past, I've always got the good drops, so this was a bit of a ball ache. But anyway, finally we got another drop, which was the Bando's helmet, and I was a bit happier. Although I know it isn't worth as much, I do class that as quite a good one. I don't know, I just like seeing it above the boots and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, after all of that was done, we made ourselves 1.9 mil, which surprised me actually, because I thought we'd have made a lot more. Actually, I did genuinely think we'd make a heck of a lot more than that, but unfortunately we didn't. But I'm not complaining, you know, 2 mil an hour is not bad. Anyway, after that, I just happened to go on ports, and I had enough plate to make a superior Tetsu body, so I thought I'd throw that in as well, just as, you know, to see the gear that I'm going to be using for melee from now on. Now, I wanted to go to Armadillo because armor stuff is worth so much if you can get a drop. And my look at armor has always been bad. Like, I've never had good look at armor. I believe totally I've had maybe like 5 drops I can actually remember of in like well over 1,000 kills. It is just not good. And I was a little bit pissed off because in this entire thing I got nothing. I even decided to bedoodle this kill. If you guys don't know what I'm on about there, I won't bother explaining it, but people who do get that reference, like, good on you. I'm so glad people will get that reference. So yeah, bedoodled that, got nothing. I was like, for fuck's sake, why? And the worst thing about armor is if you don't get a drop, you don't make any money, because the other stuff is just not worth anything. And off that hour we made 750k, the most catastrophically bad like GP an hour I'm certain I could ever try and do against a boss. Anyway, after that I figured like Corp needed to be visited. We'd spent a lot of time at God War's dungeon, but not a lot at anything else, and I was stuck between Corp and QBD, but I had a bit of a feeling we were going to get lucky at Corp. And while I was doing my little things, I bumped into this dude called Katsuk. I hope I didn't just butcher his name there, and he was like, oh hey Yorks, like the vids, all this stuff. I was like, oh, you know what mate, you can go in the video. It actually helped me out quite a bit, because I was in a bit of a bad mood today, just like generally, and so when he came in and said that, I was like, yes, we've finally got someone who appreciates me. But yeah, there we go. Probably the highlight of that entire trip was that fucking regen bracelet. We got nothing. I was so gutted, because generally speaking, for an hour's work, it was no better than armor. We got a mil, and I was there kicking myself thinking, Ben, you should have gone QBD. You should have, I fucking probably would have made more at KBD, to be honest. But yeah, I wasn't going to complain. Also, I got another 20 mil in my money pouch, you'll see. Now, I did lend a friend some money. Now, don't have a go at me for lending. I know I said I wasn't going to lend again. The reason I lent him the money was because he got hacked and needed some money to start up with. And it turns out he actually made a lot more money than I thought. He had a lot more money than I thought he had. And he went and staked 75 mil he'd made from that 20 mil I gave him, and doubled it. So like, I luckily got my money back, and no way am I lending again, because that was just way too creepy. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. There was a couple things that aren't selling, but generally speaking we made 12 mil, which is pretty decent for the amount of time I spent. I've not been on as much recently because I've had other stuff to do with university and stuff, and the internet actually went on the first day I was planning to record this, so that's why it's a day late. But not to worry, I'm really hoping you enjoy this. I'm really excited to get on with this series. I feel like I'm going to be doing it a lot more frequently than I was doing the loot tab series, because I've got money to spend on resources and I don't have to worry about the income and stuff. But the only thing I want to know is that 20 mil that was in the bank, do you want me to keep that separate from my current cash stack and work that up to max stack, or do I work the whole lot up to max stack? That's my question for you guys, as well as what bosses you want to see next episode. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks for watching as always. Support's awesome, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video.